Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Radio Geonosis, where we talk about Star Wars from a certain point of view. I am Angie.
I'm David.
I'm Aaron. What's up, guys?
And today we're going to be going over favorite Star Wars quotes, our favorite Star Wars quotes. But before we do that, we're going to do some hot happenings. So I'm going to go first, David.
Yes.
So this weekend I was at,
I like that picture. That was it yesterday or today? You posted that picture on Radio Geonosis with all of, like, it was you, Mando Mercs, 501st, and some other Saber Guild.
That was
today?
That was at Truck Adventures.
Yeah, that was an awesome picture.
And it was
I really
yesterday.
like that Mando. That was to
This
the
one
left
still
of you.
thinks it's Sunday.
Yeah, my bad. Well, I don't think it's Sunday anymore. Like, if I still thought it was Sunday, we should take me to a hospital, like, immediately.
But I was at Truck Adventures on Saturday in the Orange County Fairgrounds. It was a whole lot of fun. I've done that event twice now, and it's terrific. I have a really good time. As far as events coming up, we've got Anime Expo coming up in a couple of weeks.
Yes, it is.
Woo! And then after that is Comic Con in San Diego. So those are a couple of really big events. We do not have any shows or anything going on until, I believe it's August. We do an event at Hillside. It's an orphanage, and we do a show there. We do
That's
one in
awesome.
the summer, and we do one at Christmas time, and so that's a really fun time.
Have you been?
That
to,
sounds like fun.
This is like
Yes.
really weird. I'm just curious because have you been to Hillside Orphanage before?
Yes.
So, are orphanages still like old-timey 1900s, like, hello, mister? Or like...
No.
Okay, I'm just making sure because I've never been to an orphanage before, but go on, please.
No, it's pretty cool. I mean,
That's actually good imagery he painted right now.
Like,
No,
if you
it's
think
not
old-time imagery, like
No.
old-timey...
But yeah,
Please,
there's
sir, may I
no
have
tile
another,
walls
does
or long corridors and wooden
No,
doors.
no,
and
no,
I'm
no.
just making sure we're
and
keeping
flickering
up to,
lights. No, it's
Exactly.
two twins
I'm
holding
just-
hands
but
at the end of the hallway.
It is a legit orphanage. It's
Like, if
right
there's a 10%
where-
your chance you're killed by a ghost, I just want to know.
No, it's between Pasadena and Los Angeles. It's a really cool event to do. The kids love it when we come out, and
That really
like I
sounds
said,
like
we've
fun.
done it twice. I've done it several times.
I imagine that's the best place to do a Star Wars event. Is
Yeah,
that
the
an
kids
Yeah,
love it.
yeah,
The kids love
yeah.
it. I mean,
For
that's
real.
a whole thing about doing those shows and doing any kind of shows that we've done in the past at orphanages, at libraries, at hospitals. Kids just love it. They
Yeah.
just love it. All right, David, what is your hot happenings?
Well, as aforementioned, we don't really have Star Wars stuff, but there's like, since we had E3 and, things like a lot of comic book movies have been coming out as of now because it's, summer's blockbuster time. There is a little bit of, just news or touchy up stuff. Like, now that E3 is over, we can confirm there was only one Star Wars game half-assed announced, which we talked about last week. So that was the only thing they, at all. Like, other than that, nope. So...
Nothing.
When we used to get 1 to 2 Star Wars games a year, now we're seemingly getting one every 5 years. But
Or
that's or none. So
Now, do we have any movies coming out this summer? Because I know Jurassic World is coming out.
It's
in
great.
A couple
I
of
saw it.
weeks.
it is. It's.
good?
I will tell you. I will tell anybody this is going to go see it. The ending is really weird.
How did you see it?
I'm not going to tell anybody. I got someone I know took me to see it 2 weeks early.
You're lucky.
That's cool.
But the ending is really weird, and like I don't want to spoil it at all. But if you watch the ending, you're going, "That's something you could fix in 5 minutes with some like National Guard dudes." But they're like making it like a big plot point. So I don't know how it's going to go.
Was
if
it
they
down in
continue-
L.A. or where was it?
Where I saw it? Oh, here in Victorville. I didn't see the premiere. I saw what's the best way to phrase it? I saw at a theater who already had the reels that was doing what do they call it?
A Fathom
Staff,
event?
Black
a staff-
market?
like a staff, like a staff viewing, like
Black market showing.
like they do it a lot. Like I saw Dark Knight with Heath Ledger. I saw that one the same way I saw this one a few weeks earlier. They had a staff viewing because they get the reels early,
Right.
And they'll play them at night
and they
for
get them
staff
real
to come
early.
There was
So-
my friend Benjamin used to see movies like that too early.
Wow.
He did. My friend
That's
Ben.
pretty cool.
My friend Ben.
That's cool that the movie theaters that do that.
Like,
the
I think Star
employees,
Wars will never
considering
come-
they
You
have
saw
to clean
Wreck-It
up
Ralph
everybody's
early. You saw
mess.
Wreck-It
I
Ralph
saw
early.
I saw Wreck-It
Wow.
Ralph like a week
No, I
early too.
remember.
But I will say this: when it comes to Star Wars movies, those things are never available for pre-screens
way,
ever.
No way. But Jurassic
Jurassic
Park
World.
being like also with a movie like that's a lot of like they had Beat by Dre headphones in it last time.
Wow.
Oh, yeah,
Mercedes, like it's a real
Margaritaville.
It's like it's a
I like
powered by.
Margaritaville.
Yeah, it's a
My
powered by
dad
movie.
has
It's
my
one of those
dad and my
movies.
stepmom collect those Margaritaville machines. They're freaking
Yeah, it's a
No, I
sponsored
just like your
powered by.
barbecue sauce.
No, you need the blender. Like, it does everything for you. You just pour alcohol in it, and it makes a margarita. Like, it does the
Yeah.
exact same thing a regular blender can do, to be honest with you, but it's cool.
The exact
But
same
yeah,
thing.
But it says Margaritaville, so that
exactly.
counts.
Exactly. But no, Jurassic World, I recommend everybody go see it. It's great. Ant-Man and the Wasp is coming out
Oh,
in
yeah,
a couple
I
weeks.
saw that.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see
Yeah.
that.
Oh, you
I
saw
have
that already?
No, I can't
Oh,
wait to.
see,
I saw
yeah.
the previews when I was
Like,
at.
wait, why are you guys not telling me this?
No. For me, it was just the previews. I saw the previews for it. Now, I've not seen the original Ant-Man, which I really need to do.
It's really
Okay.
good.
I think
It's a heist
on-
movie. I love it.
Is it on
Yeah.
Netflix?
It's on. I know it's on.
No, it's not on Netflix, but
I know it's
no.
on one of the movie channels. So like if you have HBO Stars, Encore, Showtime.
don't have any of
yeah,
that.
I know it was on one of those.
You get your
Or if
Fire
you
Stick,
have,
Andy, don't worry.
yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Bootlegging somewhere. The black
I can't
market.
wait to see that because I have a huge crush on the chick who plays Ghost. And I love that character too. I'm glad they're doing like a femme version of it. So I'm
Oh,
excited.
Ghost?
Yeah, I'm
But
excited
I
to see
wonder
that.
what else, for this summer. What else? I mean, we've just about exploded everything in the first part of May. You know what I mean?
Nothing after these probably.
Yeah, I think-
next two movies. I think
Not even including Avengers. Like I think the body and death count from every movie released this summer has already destroyed the world. Like
Right.
theoretically. But
No
I
need for
know-
another movie. There's a lot of body count.
I think it's coming out in the next month or two, or maybe this month. There's a movie called Meg, which is Jason Statham fighting a megalodon. Probably going to be a terrible movie, but I'll see it.
Huh.
Put a bald English guy in a movie with a giant shark. I'm in.
I'm not seeing that movie.
But-
Oh, I
I'm
think
really
I
picky about movies.
I saw. Yeah, I am too. I saw the previews for that.
Then
Someone.
again, I like Jaws 3, so
Yeah, you go. See,
that's the one
you go
with
see that.
that's the one with Randy Quaid's brother in it.
I've seen. I only have seen Jaws 1. That was enough for me.
Yeah,
As a
I've seen
kid,
all
I
the
was
Jaws.
just like, I'm never going to.
That's one of my favorite movies. A few years ago, in 2015, a bunch of the theaters did.
Sharknado.
No, they did a re-release of Jaws for like 1 week only. You can go see Jaws.
The movie.
I
that
went and
ruined
saw it,
movies.
and they also. I'm the name of the beer is blanking, but at the same time, since it was the 40th anniversary of Jaws, the beer company that Quint like drinking beers and crushing the cans and throwing them on the boat,
Right.
they released the exact old style pool tab of that beer. So I snuck a 6-pack of that beer into the movie and drank it while
my
watching
God.
Jaws. Here.
Oh my gosh.
That's one of my favorite movies of all time. Is Jaws.
Oh my god. No, I was frightened as a kid, man. That was terrible.
Oh yeah, my dad. I remember like I saw Jaws really early in my life because my dad, thankfully, didn't have that filter where like he shouldn't watch these movies, but I did. And we went to the Jersey Beach because he's from Pennsylvania, and like we went up to see family in Pennsylvania. Then we went to the Jersey Beach. I refused to utterly get like 15 feet within the water. Like nope.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because that's
yeah,
where
no,
pretty
no.
much that it was taking place.
And
Yeah.
I know that is like in the reality of things with sharks particularly, that is like a insecure fear to have. Like you shouldn't be scared. Of the likelihood of you getting attacked by a shark is like nil.
but it can happen.
But it can happen.
And it's really
B,
bad.
The sharks,
when it does,
the
it's
sharks
really
are not what
bad.
I'm worried about.
Yeah.
That entire ocean, everything in there is designed to kill
I
humans
had a-
quickly and efficiently. So
I had
I'm
a
out.
quick like moment of terror at the beach a couple weeks ago because I was having fun in the water, and then all of a sudden, I started thinking about what if a shark was like 2 feet away from me right now? I can't
Probably
even see.
was.
Just a quick like just harsh
Yeah,
reality. You know,
because
I
the
was
water's
thinking,
not
like,
clear.
No, no,
Is that
it's
where you
not.
pulled out your 9 and
No,
cocked it
it's-
and was like, okay,
I was
shark?
just, and plus, I was with family too. I was just thinking like, what if
Some
a shark-
dude comes by and he's just snorkeling.
If a shark was like
just
within
a
5
quick
feet of
human
me,
moment I had. Like,
No, yeah, if a
But
shark-
you know what?
Man.
You could easily now in Hawaii. When I was in Hawaii, you could go out quite a ways, but
Mm-hmm.
then once you got to a certain point, it drops down.
Yeah,
a lot.
a lot.
And so, but you
Yeah,
can
no.
see the bottom. That's
No.
the one thing. I looked down. I could see my feet, and I was shocked because I'd always gone to Huntington Beach, Newport
Yeah,
Beach.
you can't
the
see
water's
anything.
yeah,
so
I've
murky,
never
you don't
been
see
in an
anything.
ocean where I couldn't see through it. But before we move into more Star Wars stuff, well, the coolest
We're
ocean.
talking about the beach now.
Yeah, the cool. Well, hey, it's giving people a look into our lives. They're gonna love it. The coolest ocean I've ever
I
seen
don't
was
want anyone to do that.
in Alaska. If you go to, I don't know if you can get like see the same kind of ocean in Anchorage, but if you go to like Valdez, Alaska, which is like a huge salmon fishing and halibut fishing town.
We know at one point it had a lot of oil in it.
It did.
Yep. There was also that time that the Exxon Valdez just missed Alaska sitting right there, and that huge oil spill. But that water there is like a teal Arctic blue, but you can't see through it. It's like the most beautiful looking water ever.
I know that it's like that in Tahoe, Lake Tahoe.
Lake
Oh
Tahoe.
yeah,
Very
it is
clear.
like that in Lake Tahoe.
But I was in when I was in Washington. We had gone to Forks because I'm also a Twilight fan, and so we went. We wanted to go to Port Angeles, so we went around. And it's not
I never
very-
got those movies. I watched them all. I need to read the books though, and the reason I didn't get the movies is because the first one is like a normal movie, climax, rising action to climax, done.
I
Conclusion.
love the producer.
The
of
other
that one.
ones, the other Twilight movies was just like this. This was the plot. It was just a stagnant line. I'm like,
The
there's not
books are really
happening.
good. I mean, we're getting on Twilight. We're talking about Star.
We should do a Twilight themed podcast.
I have nothing to do with this
There's
conversation.
nothing to contribute.
Hey,
to.
I'm the kind of
But
person where I will
anyways,
see
my
any movie.
story
I don't.
was that we had gone around this like this through these mountains and things, and came around, and there was this river. I mean, like a body of water, and it was a melted ice, like a what do they call those? The ice. I can't even think right now.
Glaciers?
Glacier.
Oh,
it
yeah,
was
I
a
was like, it
melted
starts
ice
with a
glacier.
G.
Yeah.
One of these things is not
1
like
point for me.
But the water was so clear. It was amazing.
Yeah.
And you just stood there and at the water's edge and you could see where it dropped down, but it was so you probably could have
Wow.
drank from that.
I have a new goal for
It's
the podcast.
amazing.
Wow.
You know what we should do one day? Whether it's like a year from now
Travel
or 2
around
months
all
from
over
now.
the world. What?
Well, that.
think I'm gonna
but
go to Hawaii for my
we
birthday.
should go one day, just like all three of us, take 3 days off, figure it all out, drive to the redwoods. We'll camp out there, so we don't have to pay money.
I do not
but
need
we're
to
going
figure out anything.
We're
just
going
so you
to
know.
recreate. We're going to recreate like a scene from the Forest Moon of Endor in the redwoods. We should do that.
I'm going camping.
And this one's
going
going to be
camping
covered in
September.
mosquitoes.
He'll be Lando Calrissian, not because of certain reasons, only because he's awesome. I'll be Han Solo. You'll be Princess. No, wait, that'd be weird. You'll be random Jedi female number 3.
No, I
You'll
could
be your
Duchess
character.
should-
You'll be
yeah,
your
yeah,
character.
I could.
Character.
I'll
Yeah.
be Han Solo, and then we'll just like dress up my cats as like Ewoks or something. We'll figure something.
I've got dragon cats with
They
me
do
down
have.
there.
They do have Ewok
They are not allowed.
costumes for small animals at Petco. I'm gonna
Cats
buy
are not
Ewok
allowed.
costumes
I'm
for
not
my
doing that.
cats.
You're going to get clawed in the car.
Probably.
No.
They're not invited on this trip.
As for
No.
some quick last like nerd news, I think it was like we got Ant-Man the Wasp coming out for movies, and be prepared, buddy. That's the last Marvel movie you're seeing until next year. Then
Yeah.
we're gonna get.
That's what's also unfortunate
Yeah.
about that.
I think
Yeah.
the next one we get is Captain Marvel into Avengers
Well,
Infinity
we got
War
Luke Cage
2.
in a few days though.
Oh,
Luke
yeah.
Cage, yeah. I can't wait, dude. I can't wait.
Yeah, we have Luke Cage.
Let's
in
not
a few
talk about
days.
that. Let's do that maybe in like 2 weeks. We'll talk about it for like 10 minutes after I watch it.
I have to watch it. I've been going through Versailles.
Oh, Versailles.
Ooh, so good. So good.
I rewatched the Clone
Louis the
Wars
14th.
this weekend and last week.
I need
the
to
whole
watch that
series.
too.
There's because I was rewatching it for quotes. I didn't choose any because I wanted my quotes to have a theme. But there are
Mine
some
are a
actually.
scrambled. You know what my theme is? A scrambled mess.
You know what? One of the quotes that I almost chose, and I'm paraphrasing here, was I forgot who was Palpatine was talking to, but it was Anakin, and they were talking about. I think it was from the Clone Wars, or it was from the Clone Wars animated series, the original one, like the cartoon or something, where Palpatine was talking to Anakin and like the what if scenario, like what if Darth Sidious walked in here right now, what would you do? And Palpatine's response was something like, "Oh, if he walked in here right now and he was, a collective man, I would sit him down, throw him a brandy, and if we wanted to talk reasonably, we'd talk reasonably." So on that note, Angie, what's your first quote?
Well, I remember.
First segue on Radio
but I
Geonosis,
did remember.
and it was horrible.
I did remember one
You tried.
little bit of news. Mark Hamill, the gal who played Padme.
Natalie Portman.
Natalie Portman wants to meet Mark Hamill.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Oh, real quick side news
She
for all the
wants
Star
to
Wars.
meet her Star Wars son. I think that's awesome.
That is awesome.
If you can get Hayden Christensen in there, yeah.
They never met before.
I think
They've
Hayden
never
Christensen
met.
and
That
Mark
is-
Hamill have met.
that's
though.
so bougie
But that'd be
and
cool to
wrong
get them all
to
three
me.
on.
Yes,
like,
I would
That's
love
wrong.
I'm
to.
hoping that happens on one of the
really
Tonight
wrong.
shows the next couple weeks
I
because that's
would
where she
love
brought
to
it up.
Yeah, I would love to see that.
That's
She-
really that's one thing that does bother me about Star Wars though is that there's
Some of the
there's no
actors-
cohesiveness as far as the franchise goes. Like
Yeah.
there's no like Marvel had the 10-year anniversary big photo shoot with all of them there. Anyone who had anything to
I
do
remember
with,
it was at Comic-Con.
yeah,
At
and-
Hall
yeah.
H.
there's no like cohesiveness with the Star Wars. I know there's separate stories, separate times, but
Well, a lot
Do
of
you
it
know
is-
is.
there's
awesome
no-
that would be if you
Yeah.
had a big, like
don't-
let's
I
say
don't-
50-year reunion.
I don't like
and,
that.
Yeah, and you
don't like
had
that.
everybody who was in Rogue One, everyone who was in the first 3 movies.
Everybody.
The Fast and the Furious
Everybody.
cast is tighter, and that's
Oh,
as
I
a
agree.
franchise. Just as a
Yeah.
franchise alone, along with the unfortunate
Well, a lot of
passing
it comes from
Mark.
Lucasfilm.
from but even then they have like a cohesiveness about
Yes.
the franchise
Yes.
itself.
Yeah.
I mean, just as
Yes,
a franchise.
I agree.
Completely agree.
I would
Star
love
Wars
to
doesn't
see.
have that.
No, I
I don't
would
know why
love to
that
see
is.
everybody together for like a 50-year anniversary kind of thing, and everybody that has done anything, Clone Wars, Rebels, voice actors, everybody. That would be so awesome
Yeah.
to get a picture of everybody in it.
Yeah, I don't understand why that
But
has
have-
not there's so much history.
Well, there's
Yes.
a handful of people you wouldn't get because they're dead, and like David Prowse, they don't let him near any Star Wars
That's
things
why you
anymore.
kind of
Right,
do
like,
that
right.
along the. That's why. That's what I'm saying.
They should have done it like
Yeah,
years
like
ago.
just-
They should have
yeah,
done it for the
along
four.
the years.
They should have done it for
Like,
the 40th anniversary last
know?
year, and they
Yeah.
didn't.
Along the years, you should be having these pictures with the cast and production team and everything. And
Yeah,
staff.
because there's
over the years.
a few media outlets that I look at, like Coffee with Kenobi, and they post pictures, happy birthday to this person, that person. The people who have watched the movies don't forget the
Yeah.
actors. We always
Yeah.
tell them happy birthday, and anything going on with them that we have like a little bit of information come to us,
Yeah.
over social media and stuff. But as far as seeing them come together, I think it would be awesome. That's
It would
just,
be.
That's just something I like.
Can I get
So-
real for 1 second? So,
I
because this
don't
is
know
Star.
if I
No, this
want
is Star
that.
Wars. This is Star Wars news.
Okay.
This is important for anybody listening out there. We have been having issues in the Star Wars community as of late, specifically with Kelly Marie Tran, the person who played Rose. And I think everybody should just be nice.
Well, she's not the only one, and I'm
She's-
not going to. I totally agree with you on that, but she's not the only one.
No, she's
and
not.
And I read the article, and I thought there's some inconsistencies in it, and I have a friend who knows the boy who played Anakin. He knows Jake
Christopher.
Lloyd. Jake
Jake
Lloyd.
Lloyd. Not
I have a
Christopher
friend
Lloyd.
who knows.
That's the professor.
Yes, I have a friend who knows him, and this kid's life has been
Oh, yeah.
ruined. And in 1999, nobody stood up for him. Nobody said anything, and even Hayden Christensen took a beating for
Yeah.
his portrayal of Anakin. I am sorry. He is an actor who was paid to play a
Yeah.
part. He did
Yeah. Don't-
not write the script.
That's like the whole thing with
but
all
that's
of them.
the thing.
But
so we're,
like Kelly Marie Tran was the recent one. It's like we're all Star Wars fans, all our community. We can choose to not like certain movies
but
or certain
some
characters.
people don't, and they're
Just be
not
nice
very
about it.
nice. They're some people aren't nice, and it's terrible. But
Yeah.
all the way down to Jake Lloyd. So if we're gonna get mad, we need to be mad.
Oh
about
no, I'm
him.
mad at all of
Because
them.
that
This is just
boy's
a current
sitting in
event to
jail
bring
right
it to.
now.
Yeah, he's. Oh no,
Or
I
you
think
could
he's in a
just not get
psychiatric
mad at all.
hospital.
You could
Actually.
just-
Yes,
Not- you
and
can
that's
just-
terrible. It's terrible that awful people have driven this poor kid to that.
No, yeah, like
And if you don't like Star Wars, if you didn't like Phantom Menace, if
or
you
Last
don't
Jedi
like
or anything.
any of them, then you know what?
Constructive.
That's your
Everybody in high school and
Constructive
elementary school do
opinionism.
constructive criticism,
but you
constructive
don't have to tear
opinions.
down the people who acted in the movies. They
They're-
had nothing to do with it. They didn't write anything.
They
didn't-
came in and they were basically, here's your
Paid
script, here's
to
your
do
job,
it.
here's your paycheck, do what
Right.
we want you to do.
Right.
So, I mean, no matter whether it's Star Wars, Marvel, doesn't matter. Like, Star Wars is important because we're all Star Wars fans. But that's the thing is, you cannot like something, you could disagree with something, but that doesn't mean you automatically have to go out, whether it's Jake Lloyd, Kelly Marie Tran, Hayden Christensen, even Natalie Portman took heat sometimes.
Yeah.
You shouldn't go out and take your just disapproval in something
But
and
that's
turn it into pure
that's
hatred.
the problem with social media. That it really is.
Well,
know,
you
there's
could see
kids-
it. You could
yeah,
see it. Like,
there
you
are
could-
kids who have
you know,
been,
you could see it.
abused on social media. So it really is a sad thing. It's a good
Yeah.
thing because you can talk to people all over the world.
You gotta think
and
about
it's a
too,
bad
like-
thing
And it's
because
also-
people get behind a typewriter and they're mean.
And that's the thing. There was a time where you didn't have to talk to anyone all around the world, and that
Yeah.
was kind of better.
Oh yeah, now
Yeah.
It was kind
anonymity
of
is at
better,
your fingertips.
Yeah. It's, so if you are one of those actors, and it does weigh heavy on your brain, on your mental, or anything like that, just turn off the comments too.
Yeah.
And you got to remember,
You
these
have that
people are
option as
no
well,
different
too.
than us. They're just the only
No,
difference
they
is they're
just
in a
made
movie.
it. They just
They're
made it to a
so-
certain point in
what-
life where they're
But
Jake
you
Lloyd
even
and
see it
somewhere
in
else.
motocross. It's
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a terrible
Everywhere.
thing. It's
Oh, yeah,
because
everywhere.
people get
Everywhere.
behind a computer and they just are very mean. And like I said, I read the article. I agree with it, but I don't agree that we're getting all up in arms now. But we're not. We weren't back then.
Yeah.
No,
And
yeah,
so-
it should be just like a
So
thing
let's
where
just get to
we
the
always
happier,
get to it.
the happier things.
No, yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because before we move on, it just really hurts me whether it's like all these people were so happy to be in Star Wars.
Yes.
And then this is how the fans react. But yeah, let's go on with the quotes because
Okay.
I just wanted to touch base on that because that really makes me angry. And
Okay, Aaron, do you
Yeah.
want to go first?
Yeah, am I gonna say all my 5? Or
No,
we going
just
around?
one. We'll go around.
Okay, well,
should we do them like least favorite to favorite?
However you want to do it. I got my list.
I didn't write any.
You never
favorites.
do. It's always off the cuff.
His is bare bones and it always works.
Aaron's always off the
No,
cuff,
these
man.
I started yesterday. I was watching A New Hope with my dad yesterday. He fell asleep like the first 20 minutes in. He didn't even last long. So I started on.
He
started
just
on these
knows
yesterday.
it. He knows the movie.
So yeah. The first one I have is from A New Hope. Obi-Wan Kenobi says it's important to me because I don't know. Well,
It's one of
not
those
that I
things
don't know,
makes
but
sense for you. In your
It's-
head.
It
it's short.
touches you in a way
yeah,
that's special.
Yeah,
And I don't
he-
mean that in a weird
And
way.
it's more so how the look he had when he said it. He said, "Remember, the Force will be with you always."
Oh, I get the tingles when I
Oh
hear
yeah,
that.
that is
You know,
a
it's just
tingly-
a-
like when he's in the
yeah,
X-wing
yeah,
and he
it's-
like
It's
blows it
just-
up and
Star Wars has
And
those
the
moments.
music,
We all
you know.
Yeah, remember the Force with you always. Remember the pause, and then
Yes.
an important message.
Do you want me to go next?
yeah,
Or you
yeah.
go?
yeah, you can go next because I'm
Okay.
deciding which two I want to do first.
Traveling through hyperspace ain't like crop dusting, farm boy.
What? That was one of mine.
Han Solo,
Whoa.
Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, that was one of mine.
Oh, you got to think of another one now.
Farm boy.
Farm boy.
That's a good
Okay,
one.
first of all, because he's a moisture farmer. Okay.
Yeah, he
But
works
you
on a farm.
can't dust
I just like
crops.
how
I mean,
space-
that's kind of
space-
a.
I just like space lingo and how their country lingo is the same as like
Yeah.
country lingo here.
How,
Nothing
I don't
really
even know,
changed.
how do they dust any crops? Because first of all, you'd have to be in a ship.
Well, he did have that T-16
And-
Skyhopper.
Yeah, but what crops would you be dusting? It's all dirt.
Yeah.
That's true.
But that is like
They were moisture
It's just-
farmers.
yeah, it's just-
moisture.
But if
that
you
means
were
they're looking for water.
if you were just a random person who was never a farmer and you wanted to give someone a shit who was a farmer, like that would be one of the things.
That's
Like
also
it's a
crazy. A
generalized.
crazy job, I must
Yeah,
say. Though.
yeah.
A moisture farmer
moisture farmer, water.
sounds like a pain in the ass to me. It really does sound like a pain.
No
in
water
the,
anywhere, but we're
just
drinking
on the
blue
planet.
milk
Oh my god.
on that planet.
Because
It's
there's
right.
BAM.
Yum.
I never want to live on Tatooine. Ever. Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm gonna go with this one first. It's from Darth Sidious. No. I'm gonna go with the Plagueis one first. And I think it's from the novel. It's my unassailable strength gives rise to your envy. My wisdom fuels your desire. My achievements incite your craving.
Ooh.
Oh, it gets darker too.
Oh, it's a
With my
pretty dark
quotes.
book, let me tell you.
That was a good one.
I know. Aaron.
I got jabs because you guys are reading long. I got little jabs, but like
No,
that,
it's all
yeah,
right.
they're, you
I
know.
got
You
little
blew me out of
jabs.
the water last week.
My
Come on.
two honorable mentions are like retarded.
Empire Strikes Back. Empire Strikes Back. You guys probably have this one. I won't fall to you. I'm not afraid.
Nope.
Yoda says, "You will be. You will be."
Ooh, I like that too.
I really do like that one.
Yeah.
I like the
because
part
he's
leading up
completely
to that.
afraid.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
is-
you know he
He's
is.
afraid. Like Yoda's like, stop, shut up.
He's
You
like,
will
man.
be."
He's like,
this
oh
shit
my
is-
gosh, what did I get myself
this shit is
into?
nothing to play with right now. Like what you're up against is no.
I like
joke.
the
You
part
will
that
the
be
real
afraid.
deal.
I like
Yeah,
the one
you will
before
be
that where
afraid.
Yoda's like, what was he saying? Oh yeah, for a long time I've watched this one. Always he looked to the skies. Never.
He's
like,
so much
You know,
smarter and wiser than everyone. It's kind of insulting. Like Yoda, just shut up. Like
Yeah.
I know you're the wise one. Like
But you see,
don't talk
Luke
shit. Like
doesn't
Alfred.
know
He's
that.
like Alfred kind
He
of.
is
Pain
like
in the
Alfred.
Yeah,
ass.
but Luke doesn't know that because he didn't know that anybody was watching him.
Yeah,
He just
yeah.
knew that Obi-Wan, Ben Kenobi, was just a friend.
kind of there, checking
Yeah.
in every now and then.
If
Yeah.
I'm Luke, I'm like, if you know all this shit, like, why aren't you doing anything about it? Well, if you know everything that's going on, why don't
Because
you
Are
he
you
do
just
it?
waiting for my aunt and uncle to be killed to recruit
Are
me?
you
or
No,
ready
something?
for
Yoda
me to
had to
possibly
stay.
die?
Well, he had to wait for the right time. Yoda had to
True.
wait for the. For
I
the
will
right
say
time.
That's just what I
Yoda and
would say
Kenobi
back.
would
I
have
would
been
just
way
say that
more
back.
successful if they
Just throw a
used the
jab back
Force
at
to
him.
train Luke while he was
They
younger.
couldn't do that because they didn't want to. They didn't want to cause any dust.
Dusty crops.
No, yeah.
They didn't want to dust Palpatine's crops.
They
man. That would've
didn't
been
want
so
to
wrong.
raise any suspicion as to
Well, yeah, I
where
get
he
that.
was.
Yeah,
Okay. Do
Yeah.
you want me to go next?
sure.
Yeah, you can go now.
Okay. Well, if droids could think, there'd be none of us here, would there? Obi-Wan Kenobi,
Kenobi.
Attack of the Clones.
But droids can think they're sentient. That's either here or there. I like that quote too, though, because I love how like that's a whole because that ties back into the Solo thing with the robot revolution. It's
Exactly.
Yeah.
like, dude, they do think. Like, calm down. Let's see what my next one would be. It would be from Darth Bane. Those who ask for mercy are too weak to deserve it.
Oh, jeez.
Jeez.
That's a line before you kill someone.
That's right, man.
That's a right.
He does say this right before he kills someone.
Right
Someone's
before
begging
you
him for
off someone.
mercy.
It
and
just got really deep in here.
Yeah, right before you just like send someone to oblivion, you say exactly that quote.
Exactly.
Right there. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one,
dude. Wait till you see what I.
Okay, Aaron.
This one I chose this one because I wanted Darth Vader to always tell me this, and he did tell me this at the PlayStation experience. There was a Darth Vader there, and he told me. I said, "Tell me that the Force is strong with me," and he was like, "Are you sure?" Like it was just a guy.
Like I don't want to jinx
I was
this,
like,
man.
"I'm serious. Like say this to me right now," and he said, "The Force is strong with this one." I was like, So that's one of my quotes.
I have a couple of
that's a good
friends
one,
that
yeah.
are Darth Vader. If you come with me to an event, I'll make them tell you that.
Please. I just want Darth Vader to tell me that, and
The
I just
Darth
rise
Vader,
up with my
I
newly
just
built
hung out
lightsaber.
with one last Saturday.
I don't know who it was, but the Darth Vader.
so
I'm assuming
dedicated
he
to
was
Darth Vader,
500
too.
first, but the
I
Darth
like that.
Vader at Star Wars Reads Day was awesome. Like he got the voice right and everything.
I believe that was Randy. I can't remember. I think
Might have been,
I think it was Randy. I'm not supposed to say who the Darth Vader is, but I just did.
but I know Randy's Darth Vader. I know he does a lot of.
Well,
I know
just beep
'cause
that
he's,
out. Censor
yeah,
that
beep.
out.
Yeah. But
They don't know which Randy it is.
no, he's
They
one
have
of the.
no idea.
He's one of the.
I mean, Anakin. He's Anakin.
It's too late.
he's one of the main Vaders for them.
Yeah, there's- I
For,
know-
Inland. Is it Inland Empire?
I
Garrison,
think
or-
so. I know about 4 or 5 of them. And you
No,
know
he was a
that
great Vader.
I thought it was kind of cool because we had been talking. I went to an event in San Bernardino, and we were talking about the Darth Vaders. And one of the prerequisites is that they've got to be over 6'3".
Yeah. This Darth Vader was huge at the place.
Yes.
It was a GameStop event, but PlayStation
Yeah.
Experience was there.
Yeah.
And they were promoting. I believe it was like an expansion. I think an expansion pack. For
That's
Battlefront,
cool.
The first one.
That's cool that they had
And
them out.
yeah,
Oh
he-
yeah.
yeah.
I actually know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
And I was like, can you tell me this?
Yeah, you're like begging,
You're just like,
please
"Are
tell
you
me.
Are you sure? Yeah.
Okay, I'll go next. Remember, my dear Obi-Wan, I've loved you always.
Oh, that's a good
always
one.
will.
Man.
Duchess Satine, Clone Wars.
She actually
this
had
is
some really
season
good quotes.
5, episode
Why'd you
16.
tell me this before?
And this is the feels, man. Oh
Yeah.
my God, when he's holding her like that, I just want to. I'm crying, man. the very first time when I was watching Clone Wars, and I saw the episode where he saw her, and his eyes kind of bugged out. I just got flutters,
Yeah.
because I just love the way he looks at her. I know it's kind of
Yeah.
silly that it's a cartoon, but it's the way he
You could
looks
tell
at
he
her.
looks
Well,
at her
cartoons, you
and
can
he
really do
loves
that,
her,
though.
but
Cartoons,
he can't do anything
animated-
about it.
Yeah, animation
Yeah.
really captures stuff that
Yeah,
sometimes
and the way
humans
he
can't.
looked at her. And
Because
then
you
when
can
she-
actually
You bend
mold,
the face,
and
yeah.
you
Yeah.
can get that. You
You
could
can
get the
really-
exact reaction you want a character right there.
I'm sure that
Bending
the
and
Obi-Wan in
expression.
the movies, if he saw me, he would have looked at me like that. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
It's
but then he
okay.
would have been
You're
like
not kidding.
me, and he would have been like no, and there's me behind him like. Eh.
I don't think he swings that
Move
way.
out my way.
Keep
He's
going.
not-
So my next quote is, and I promise people I'm not like a serial killer or anything. I just really like these quotes.
That's not what you want to say before that.
Darth Bane quoting Revan, and it's honor is a fool's prize, glory is of no use to the dead.
Jeez,
Another
Louise,
great
man.
quote.
Was he feeling it? Was he in a bad mood this weekend? that
Well, I
he
did
was
stop
like,
taking
"Oh,
my medication
I'm
like 2 weeks
feeling
ago.
a bit on the dark side, man.
All
Bane
these
has
quotes
the
make sense
best-
though. They're just mean.
You just want to harness power
A little bit.
with Darth Bane. Like that's the thing. You wish you just had power for just a day.
You know, Mike.
That's a
Honestly,
guilty
you
pleasure
guys,
everyone has.
if nobody should ever let me have force powers, because if I
It's a
do,
guilty pleasure everyone has. I think everyone would just want to know what it's like to be. Just
You know,
for a
and
day.
I have a strange question
imagine
too.
what I could do with a day with force
Yeah.
powers.
Oh my god.
Now,
Oh my
after
God.
Bane and Revan, that period, all the way up to Yoda, what Sith do we have?
None.
So that's 1,000. That's the
old
1,000
canon.
years.
Yeah, the old canon. It was like about 1 to 2,000 years. There was no Sith. Well, technically there was Darth Zana, and she was training secret Sith. But I'll look it up later for the podcast. But I did see that they finally released the official list of canon Sith lords. It's Darth Vader, Darth Plagueis, Darth
Thank
Sidious,
you.
Darth. It's every Sith lord from the movies, plus Darth Bane, plus one random Sith lord
Now,
from the
if
comics.
they do-
so it was only like 6 Sith lords.
Did they do Plagueis? Yeah.
He is a because
So
he's
does that
confirmed.
mean his book
No.
is in or out?
No, just his book is out. His character just exists.
Doesn't matter. I
Is it?
still have the book.
No, the book is great. I recommend everybody read Plagueis. It's
Oh,
awesome.
it's
I haven't
so
read
good.
it.
The beginning?
I haven't read it.
It drags at first because it's very political, and at first it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Then it drags because it's a real political.
They're setting up
Yeah.
how everything
How
happened.
right.
happened.
But the
then
first
at the
scene
very
with
end,
Plagueis and
you're
his
like,
master.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh, you did not see that.
But
coming.
you remember that first? We've talked about it before on the podcast. But that first scene with Plagueis and his master, he kills his
Yes.
master. That would make like the perfect opening sequence for a Star Wars movie about Plagueis. Like,
Yeah.
that would be it.
Maybe
Like,
that's
it's
the
that
reason
cool.
why they're releasing the list because if they do any kind of short stories, any kind of comics or like TV show type of things, they could do the Bane series. They
Yeah.
could do Plagueis, but
Like, there's only
hopefully
6
they
right
won't.
now.
Hopefully they won't change it.
Yeah.
And if there was Jedi being trained, there had to have been, Sith kind of in the background there because there are
Yeah,
some
'cause
Jedi that
Sith is just an
decide, I
organization.
don't want to do this. I want to
Yeah.
be bad.
Yeah.
Sith is Sith, like the Jedi, is just an organization. Without it, there are still Force users who can do good or evil.
Right.
So,
They just couldn't keep it together.
like Knights of Ren is the
It's hard.
is the precursor,
Yeah,
Knights
it's
of
hard
Ren is
because
Sith
everybody,
2.0.
To me, I view the Sith like this. Everybody wants to be the chief, and nobody wants to be the Indians.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
That's one way. That's exactly one way you could sum it up.
That's why the Sith don't want to. They don't want to have. They couldn't keep it together. Couldn't keep their groups together because they were all trying to take each other out.
Yeah. Can it be
So
trusted?
okay, so do
Is
I
it my
go-
turn again?
No.
I can
I
go
think it's
next.
Aaron's or yours.
Yeah, no.
Okay, I'll go. This one's kind of a deep one. The Sith took everything from me, ripped me from my mother's arms, murdered my brother, used me as a weapon, cast me aside, abandoned me. Once I had power, now I have nothing. This was from Darth Maul, Twilight of Apprentice, Rebels Season 2, Episode 21.
Oh yeah, I was like, I know that's Darth Maul. Where's it from? But yeah, it's from Rebels. Yeah.
What, they had Darth Maul talking like that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude, Darth Maul and Rebels is.
Well, he had
See,
to
I have-
have
see, I
because
haven't
he's
seen-
like
I
at
have
the
not
end of
seen it.
himself,
Like 4
man. They
seasons
robbed him of everything. So it'll be interesting to see what he does in the solo movies because
I am
the
definitely-
guy's going to come out with all shock
What
and
do I
awe.
watch it on though? What do I watch it on?
Rebels?
Do you have a
Disney?
cable
I
I
subscription?
have, well, no.
Do you have a cable subscription?
No, I have a Fire Stick though. I have,
But it's on. I know it's on Disney XD. Like if you had a cable subscription, you could like go
Or
online
you could buy
and
the
watch-
episodes.
I could buy the episode.
Yes,
you could
you
buy
can
them.
buy. I think season 1, 2, and 3 is already out.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
4 is 2. Maybe check Amazon because I'd probably have like all of them for like $50-$60.
Okay.
Or if not, like I think you could even subscribe like
I do have
$15
Amazon- I
a
do have
month to
Amazon
Disney
Prime.
XD,
Uh-huh.
and then watch it through there, like spam it
okay.
and then cancel
Yeah.
it. But yeah, Disney XD is where I always watch it at, and because as soon as the episode airs, it's available for streaming.
It seems like with Rebels they really cover a lot. You know what
Oh,
I mean?
they do.
And they really go into in depth with things.
It's
you
a-
know?
it's a-
Maybe it's trying to go back and after Clone Wars, and after this is between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope,
Yep.
right? It's squeezing in the middle
It's
of
about
that.
5 years before A New Hope.
Right. So
It takes
they're
place
kind of
over,
spreading
a
like
course of
butter,
a year,
trying
5
to
years before
trying to
actually.
cover all that. Okay.
So is it, wait, my turn or whose turn is it?
It's Andy's turn.
Wait, she
I
just
already
went.
did
Oh,
mine.
she just went.
So
Aaron,
it's David's
go.
turn.
I'll just go. Okay, so my next one is let's see.
We have to tell him to do everything.
Is another Dark. Well, we're mixing it up now.
Okay.
Is another Darth Sidious one. Choose someone as your
Jeez.
successor, and you'll inevitably be succeeded. Choose someone hungrier, and you will inevitably be devoured.
Wow. So is that
did happen this
But you know what?
weekend?
That's why he let Anakin
Jesus
burn.
Christ.
I'm not even done yet.
Maybe that's
What
why he let
happened?
Anakin fry to a crisp. Man, this guy's going to be a threat. Well, let's cook him first.
this.
These are my favorite quotes.
Wow, we're really.
I'm not
seeing
going to
the-
confirm or deny if something did happen, but that'll just justify it. I just love these.
Shmi, Skywalker, the Phantom Menace.
Ooh.
You can't stop change any more than you can stop the suns from setting.
Okay.
Oh, I like that one. That's
You
a good
stole
one.
mine.
Oh,
now
did
you're-
I?
I love that
Swipe.
nobody's ever going to be able to steal any
It
of
has
mine.
been taken.
It has been. You took mine.
I know. I took yours earlier.
It's okay. Great minds think alike is what they say.
That's what they say. All right, you want me to go next?
Yeah, you can go next.
If you define yourself by your power to take life, your desire to dominate, to possess, then you have nothing. Obi-Wan Kenobi, You know I have to get that in. Rebels Season 3, Twin Sons Episode 20.
Wow. I really do need to see Rebels.
Yeah, so do I.
That's good.
I do need to see Rebels.
I've not seen it. I own all of Clone Wars, but I do not own Rebels. So that's
feel like,
that's a shame. I'm part of 3 groups and I don't even know.
Timing is everything, though.
It is.
I feel like
it's called On Sale.
And I think I need time to watch it. I think that's also why I haven't watched it, because I need the time to watch it.
Yeah, it's hard for me too to sit. That's why I don't game, because I just don't have the time to sit down and blow out 6 hours. I can't do it. I just cannot do it. I got so many other things that I do and trying to work on and trying to get done in a day. To me, to waste 6 hours playing a game, I want to rip my hair out.
You should probably look into writing. Because you like to write, obviously. Yes. You should look into writing scripts and movies.
Oh no!
Why not?
I don't have the imagination.
Aaron need to write a Star Wars movie. Let's write a Wasp movie or something. Something stupid.
I like to. I
David.
do like to. I'm a researcher. I like to look into things. Like David and I were talking about volcanoes on the way over here. So I mean, we just get into some really crazy.
We have the best
discussions.
conversations ever, and since I'm weird and read literally encyclopedias about everything. It's like, I could have conversations.
We're talking about melting ice and the. Okay, David.
Okay, so this is the last serious quote I got. Then after this, I have 3 really short ones that are just some of my favorite all-time quotes.
Okay.
So the last.
And we didn't. I tried not to pick anything that was just that everybody knows. That everybody quotes, that kind of thing. I do have a couple favorites that are, but.
So I'm going to do this one, and then when it comes back next to me, since my next ones are like really short, I'm going to do all 3 at the same time.
Okay.
So this one is by Plagueis 2. To say the Force works in mysterious ways is to admit one's ignorance, for any mystery can be solved through the application of knowledge and unrelenting effort.
Ooh.
It's true.
Then he indulged
The Force
in
is mysterious.
dark.
Well, you're just dumb. You didn't look into it.
It is.
Like, I get the fact that, like, technology is derivative of what you can, like, at time, what level of technology you have is how much knowledge of things you have.
Yeah.
They have lightsabers. They should know the Force by now. They figured out the midi-chlorian thing.
Yeah, that's true, too.
But I think that you're saying they, but remember, there's always groups of people coming up.
True.
There's always new groups of people. And, when I was watching this weekend, I watched the Clone Wars. I'm sorry.
Attack of the Clones?
Attack of the Clones. We're talking about both. And so Yoda was saying, they're all walking, Mace Windu, him, and Obi-Wan, and he said some of the older, more experienced Jedi are too sure of themselves.
Yeah.
And what I think right there, you had a crumbling of the Jedi temple, of the Jedis, because everybody was so sure of themselves. This was bringing it down. It was crumbling, and Yoda still didn't catch it at that point.
All I know is that if I walked into my English class and said, sorry, I don't have my paper, English works in mysterious ways, that's not a good excuse.
No.
Well, you are relieved from your duties. You still have to do your homework. Like, you still have to do your project.
I don't know, the dog ate it. Okay.
I just love how the Sith are trying to figure it out, and the Jedi are like, we'll get to it.
Yeah. I have Anakin from Attack of the Clones.
Ooh, I think I know which one this is.
Attachment is forbidden. Possession is forbidden. Compassion, which I would define as unconditional love, is essential to a Jedi's life. So you might say that we are encouraged. So that sounds like a poem.
You know what?
I know,
yeah, it was
that's
like
one
I
of my
want in your
favorite Anakin
pants.
quotes.
To me, he was like, you know what? I want you, and I want you.
Yeah.
And this is my way. Yeah, that's right. This is my way to get you, because he really did want her.
Straight out of a romance novel.
Yeah, because when he was looking at her,
out of one of those smutty ones that like an author writes 400 of every 2 years.
Yeah.
Like one of those
and you could tell he
Sarah
was.
Roberts.
She was uncomfortable with the way he looked at her, but he looked at her with some desire.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he definitely looked like if I didn't have any control of my inhibitions, stuff would be going on right now, and I would be in jail later.
Right
yeah, I mean, you could tell. When he was
pregnant sooner rather than later.
I'm not saying Anakin's a bad guy, but
if
he
her uncomfortable,
yeah, because she
was like, "You're addressing me with your eyes, sir."
That's easy, Anakin.
Like I would constantly be like wearing robes, like, like so I could do that. Like I'm already dressed, but I could cover up
just
more.
Make sure he's not behind me somewhere, just veering off in the shadows.
Yeah, I was like, well, maybe if they had just let him do what
and then
he
she
was
falls for it, like at the end of Attack of the Clones.
Well,
and you're just sitting there
if
like,
someone's going after you like that and undermine that she's
Older.
And a princess.
She's like
and
royalty,
Yeah.
and she's like
political
7 years old.
No one's probably talked to her like that. So
No.
yeah, of course that's gonna work.
Oh yeah, dude,
That
that
is
was
gonna
probably
work.
some really awkward
Yeah.
conversations. Like,
That's gonna work.
if this
Yeah.
was 10 years ago, I'd have you executed.
Wow. Okay, I'll go next. Every time I walked away from something I wanted to forget, I told myself it was for a cause that I believed in, a cause that was worth it. Without that, we're lost. Cassian from Rogue One.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that one. So I have my final three.
Go ahead.
So
I still have more.
the first one
Roll
is
10.
we could just do like a
I'm
like
gonna
a
have-
speed round for you.
Okay, I'm going to have to do
But
that.
so my first one is Darth Vader, impressive, most impressive.
Impressive, most impressive.
The second one is Darth Sidious, I am the Senate. And the last one, and the ultimate one,
But
all time.
technically he wasn't, because it doesn't get destroyed until
yeah.
New Hope. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. It was
He did-
still
yeah.
17 years
But
later,
the
he's
Senate.
still
You
trying to
can't
get rid of him.
Argue with the Senate. The ultimate, my all-time favorite Star Wars quote, and I want to talk about this for one quick second because it's two simple words that everybody says multiple times every day.
Do or do not?
No, don't guess it. Don't ruin it. But when I say these two words as a response to people, I literally in my head quoting Han Solo, and it is "I know" before he goes into the carbonite chamber. So like when you message me something, or he messaged me something, or we say something, and I reply "I know," I'm actually quoting Han Solo.
Oh.
I don't
I
think
just
you've
love
told
that
me that yet. I don't
sternness.
think you've told me that
I
yet. but
even
you probably will.
took a screen capture of that movie like right before he's going to the carbonite chamber, and I memed it with "I know," and I use that daily as a response to people.
Oh, you know what? I know.
I know.
Exactly, she knows. But yeah, that's like my all-time favorite Star Wars quote, just Han Solo going, "I know," and he goes to the carbonite chamber.
This is my last one. Actually,
Because she stole like 8 of them.
I did.
I'll forgive you this time, man.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. It's Count Dooku, one of David's
My
favorite.
favorite character.
The Count.
I sense great fear in you, Skywalker. You have hate, you have anger, but you don't use them.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
one. I, like
And
it.
eventually he did.
Yeah, eventually he did cut off his head. Hands and head.
Eventually he did use it. So
I do
Count
like the
Dooku,
whole-
He's
he
like,
was-
he's using it now. As his
Count
head's
Dooku
getting
was
cut
onto
off.
something. He was for sure onto
Well,
something.
There was
Yeah,
a bunch
he
of really
was.
good Count Dooku quotes. The only reason I didn't use them was
Count
they were
Dooku
like
has
this
really
long.
good quotes. He
Yeah.
really does have good quotes, though.
Because he's not a bad guy. And his quotes, especially through the media, prove it. Like, he's just like,
He's
just
how-
because I don't agree with you and
he's
because
how
it's
a villain
red
should
doesn't mean
be.
I'm bad. Yeah.
He's how a villain to me is like a classy, like suave.
Yes.
They're psychopathic in ways.
And he had
but
extremely
they're very
honorable
like
goals. It was
they're like
just
charming in a way. They
Yeah.
dress really nice all the time.
Like a
They're-
hitman.
Yeah, exactly. like
he was essentially
me.
Che
Did you
Guevara.
ever see the movie The Hitman?
like
Which one?
that.
Because they did
Yeah.
like a remake. There was one with Tim
The original one.
Elefantin,
The original.
or-
The original one. That
I saw
was
the
really
original
good.
one. Yeah.
That was, I
I don't
he
know.
was
I
suave,
can't
he
take
was
him
cool.
serious though.
I liked it.
I think it was one with Timothy Elephant.
I am Count Dooku. No, I'm just kidding.
Count Dooku is the best Force
Okay.
ever.
I've got more. Your focus determines your reality.
Oh, I love that
Qui-Gon Jinn
one.
From Phantom Menace.
I didn't look for Qui-Gon quotes. He has some really good ones in the novels.
Yes. In my experience, there's no such thing as luck. Obi-Wan Kenobi, A New Hope. I have another-
Domino was great too. Speaking of luck, but go on.
Oh yeah, Domino.
This is a new day, a new beginning. Ahsoka Tano, Rebels. Okay, these ones,
Are these like your honorable mentions?
these are my honorable mentions. Let's just say
Meow.
we'd like to avoid any Imperial entanglements. Obi-Wan
Oh, yeah, I like that,
entanglements. Obi-Wan Kenobi, A New Hope. I have to quote my man.
As they're leaving a spaceport surrounded by garrisons of troopers through Star Destroyers, let's avoid all Imperial entanglements.
Okay, this I love it. It's so cute. You're stuck with me, Sky Guy.
Oh, Ahsoka Tano.
Ahsoka Tano.
Tano.
From
When they first
Clone
meet.
Wars. Yes.
Oh, I love
from
her.
the Clone Wars.
That was
movie.
one of my favorite iterations of Ahsoka. Was like right when they first meet, and she's just Anakin
She's
Skywalker.
such a smarty pants.
Yeah, I know
love
she's
her.
a smartass. I love her. And it's perfect because Anakin's yes too.
He's the
I
same
just
way.
love that.
the same
Yeah, and
way.
I think that's why Yoda put them together. It's
Yeah.
because that
They
Yeah.
learn something from each other. Patience.
yeah, they were almost
Patience.
like so they could learn from each other all the different things. And it seemed like in Clone Wars, Anakin was learning to be a good Jedi. He was learning how to control
Oh, yeah.
things.
Clone Wars
And it all
Anakin
went
is
downhill.
supreme Anakin. Like, if we could have had Clone Wars Anakin forever, chosen one or not, he would have just been a great Jedi.
Yeah.
I still kind of disagree with that. I think that, after we talked about Starkiller, I think that there was numerous people that could have been
Like I said,
the chosen one.
Like they're
how do we know in the 1,000 years we hadn't run across a few of them?
No, yeah, it's
Starkiller
it's
for sure to me
circumstance.
is
It's
the one.
Yeah.
it's all the Jedi or all Force users. Like 99% of Force users have this amount of ability. Some can get a little higher through training, but then every now and then you get the ultimate Force user who's extremely powerful. And how do you justify that?
Now, is it
Chosen
written?
one.
Is it written somewhere in any of the Star Wars lore that where they got the idea for the chosen one? And I don't mean the drink from Scum and Villainy.
I would say probably somewhere in the old canon that exists. I don't remember off the top of my head though. But I am, like I just said, I subscribe to the early days of Force users where it's everything still religious, quote unquote. You don't have industrialized society, and that's how you get the chosen one, because everybody is at a same give or take Force level. But then every now and then a super powerful one comes up. How do you
Just like the Matrix.
with a lesser
It's
intelligence
kinda
like
the
that, so to
Matrix.
speak? How do you justify that? Well, it's the chosen one. It was
Well,
sent here by the Force.
Yeah, I don't know exactly where that's written down, but I do know in the Clone Wars.
No, it's not. My thing is not written down. That's just what I subscribe
Right,
to because
right.
it makes sense.
Right.
Because there
But
can't
in the
just
Clone
be
Wars,
one
they
chosen
do
one.
have an episode where
the father and
where
the daughter.
Obi-Wan and Anakin
I was going to talk
meet
about
the
that
father.
when you quoted Ahsoka because
Right.
that makes me so sad that Anakin almost has to kill her, but she comes back. It's all good.
Well, you mean in Rebels?
No, in Clone Wars, remember when that 3-episode arc where they crash land on Mortis and the father,
yeah,
the
yes.
daughter, and the son? Yeah, and then Ahsoka gets turned to the dark side by the son, and I think she dies at one point and comes back, like in that same episode or something. But yeah, that made me really sad because you saw Anakin actually. I think he loves Ahsoka unconditionally more than he romantically loves Padme.
I think he loved, when
But that's by circumstance because he's always around Ahsoka.
when I got
not
to
always
talk to
around
Dave
Padme.
Filoni, I told him that, and I was so nervous I could barely get this out. But I think that Anakin loved 3 people. He loved his son, he loved Padme, and he loved Ahsoka. And those 3 that he felt very deeply about. And I don't think he felt that way about Obi-Wan. I really don't. I think that they had a more of a love-hate friendship. You know what I mean? And he didn't have any problems taking him out if he needed to. Because, he knew when he was a little boy, when Anakin was a little boy, that Obi-Wan didn't feel comfortable that he should be a Jedi.
Yeah.
Mace Windu said it right to his face, and you could see the angry look in his face.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the same thing when Yoda said it. So to take them guys out, he didn't have any problem. But, Anakin
Like
had
if Revenge of the Sith ended with Sidious saying "Go kill all the Jedi," he comes back and he says "Go kill Ahsoka now." Anakin's cutting off Sidious's head right there. He's not killing Ahsoka.
No, and
No,
you know what? She
at all.
she never considered herself to be a Jedi. She
No.
never, even though she was
She
She was too spunky and she
It's
had her own
not-
rules too. She played by her own rules too.
yeah,
Ahsoka
exactly.
Tano.
And I think even in
she improvised
Rebels
a
she
lot.
did too.
Oh, yeah,
she-
not in a
yeah.
literal way of the words, but she is the epitome of what Grey Jedi would be. She is that. That's specifically why her lightsabers are white. is
she's
because she does not
Qui-Gon-ish to
have-
me.
Yeah, she's
Yes,
just like
she
Qui-Gon.
was.
You know, she's
She
like
was.
Which
little
Qui-Gon was the first until it was changed Grey Jedi that we knew about until they added more.
He just did, like we talked about at one point, he did what was really the Jedi code rather than what Yoda had set up, but he did the Jedi.
No, yeah,
he followed the code.
He understood that there is dogmatic law within any organization, and he chose not to acknowledge
Right,
it.
with Ahsoka and like Qui-Gon, like to me, it's more so like common sense with them. Like,
Yes.
what makes the most sense at the moment? Whether they're gonna hear about it from the council later, they get chewed out for a little bit, and they're gonna walk out the meeting like, "Whew," like,
They're
you know what I
the-
mean? And
Those
they're
two
more so
are
like that to me.
And I would argue Starkiller a little bit too, but
yeah,
especially
yeah,
Qui-Gon,
yeah.
especially Revan, especially Ahsoka. And I'd say Revan in the same kind of thing as Starfield because he did actually turn to the dark side for a
Yeah.
while. Like those are the only characters so far in the universe that can walk the quote unquote gray line. Like they don't have to worry about falling to either side.
And I-
Right.
Because they're powerful enough to go, I can do what is right in the moment, whether
Yeah.
it be interpreted as evil or good, but they are almost unaffected by the different.
Right.
They're
I
worry,
think in
they're
a
worry
strange
free.
way, yeah.
They don't put the pressures of being a Jedi on themselves like
Right.
other Jedi or even Sith.
They're
for that
essentially
matter.
the Batman of the Star Wars
Yeah,
universe.
it's like
they do
some-
kind
some
of
Sith
bad
are
things.
anti-heroes.
Some Sith
Yeah.
want to be so bad they feel like to prove themselves, so they'll hack off like a little kid's head right in front of their master, maybe to look. But that's not maybe what
Right.
they would do.
Another good way-
the way they would do things.
Right,
yeah.
right.
But and you know, and there's some Jedi like Qui-Gon and like Ahsoka. Like
I
them
think
who-
in a strange way, Anakin was like that too.
He was. Anakin
Prior
is very
to-
and I
close.
think he
Becoming-
was worried, and that goes alludes to what I was saying about like him putting that pressure on himself, like I am the chosen one.
That's
like,
it.
Let me focus.
Anakin-
Like he that's not who he.
If they hadn't
It's not
said
who
that
he
to him,
was.
I wonder if he would have.
Oh, it would've been different. It's-
If it would have been way different,
Imagine
he wouldn't
like
known. He wouldn't have no
imagine
idea
growing up
to live up to those pressures.
like this is just
Right.
an easy example. But imagine growing up, someone told you that you were just a different religion or no religion at all. Like your whole life, just if you sketch those two lines
Well,
out,
I think if
vastly
somebody
different
told you
on
you
one
were
little-
a prodigy, if like
Yeah.
let's say you're a super
Something like that,
smart,
yeah, it's a
And then
better
as you get
example,
older,
it's better,
you understand
yeah.
what a prodigy is. Like, oh my gosh, like I have
How
to
do I
how
handle
do
this?
That was
that
Anakin's
pressure
falling.
Is insane. Like,
Anakin
Yeah.
had the potential to be like a gray person, walking that line where you're a good person, but you can tap into everything
But I
and
think-
utilize it. But he was so encumbered by the chosen one thing, and he was really, really, really seduced by the light side of the Force. Like this is how good it is, you know. So I think
but
he,
he
kept
was
trying
also
to live up to that.
it was also Yoda and Obi-Wan constantly berating him to make him feel like
What-
I'm
like,
not
you're
doing
the chosen
right
one, you
thing.
have to
exactly,
be better.
You're getting scolded for
All
what you,
the time.
because you're not walking the line they walk. So,
Exactly.
So
He doesn't just have to be a Jedi. He has to be better than all the
his
Jedi.
best bet,
because
honestly,
of he's the chosen
would have
one.
not been worried about getting on the council seat.
Yes.
To not even worry about that. To just do what you thought like is get your scolding. They're gonna scold you and not let it really get to you. Like,
Do you know
that.
why
You just let it get to him.
But in the books,
Well, do you
he
know
was
why he got that? Let him
constantly
got to him.
berated.
The council.
that's
thing?
why you rebel that way.
And
because
I think
Yeah.
it was.
you're just holding a lot in.
Yeah, and I think a
it
lot of
one-
kids are like that too. When kids are constantly told, "No, don't do that. No, don't do that." When you're constantly being told that, what's the first thing you're going to do?
You
You're
do
gonna
it.
do it.
that.
You're gonna do it.
Because
until you
they're-
stick that hammer in the light socket like I did, and you don't do it again. But
Some people have to learn the hard way.
That
Some
explains it.
Some people do. Some people.
I wanted to fix the house. Yet I was
Yeah.
living on military
It's-
housing.
That's
Nothing needed to be
why,
fixed.
like, I tend to be more so on the fan of like the Sith side. Most of my characters, I'm usually a fan of people who walk
You
the
don't-
dark
you're-
side
'cause you're not a
that's the
fan because they're
realistic-
evil. They're
it's just
realistic.
it's just
Yeah.
realistic way. It's just reality. Harsh, whether
Like,
it's harsh or just
think
reality.
about all
and
the-
I think that
what it
kind of plays
I can
into
understand what that
how we are as people.
because that's who we are.
Think
Yes,
about the
exactly.
quotes I chose today.
That's who
If I
we
didn't
are.
tell you
That's
who
just
they
who
were
we are.
from, and even if I used a thesaurus to find some just synonyms for some of the darker words, and I just said Yoda said this, like it would still make sense. It's not like my quotes aren't like one is, but my quotes aren't inherently evil. They're inherently logical. It's just an evil person saying them, therefore they're evil.
They seem deep.
Yeah.
They're deep. Oh, they're deep. I told you it got dark today.
They
It was
just
gonna
seem
get dark.
they just seem deep. But I do think that Anakin walked a fine line. He had a lot.
He once
on-
did. He
yeah.
once did walk a fine line.
Yeah, and he wanted to be in love. He wanted to be loved, and he was angry about not paying attention to what his mother was. His mother was constantly trying to reach him, and he ignored it over
Yeah.
love. And so I think he kind of tortured himself in that way too.
Yeah.
And I don't get why they just didn't let, like,
Because
if I
it
was
wouldn't
leader of
have,
the
we
Jedi
wouldn't been able to move
and-
on to the next movie.
well, if I was leader of the Jedi, well, you would have been able to, but
No,
this way.
because because 4, 5, and 6 were already made, so you can't change it.
But I mean, like, overall, well, not even like in terms of movies, but just like as a Jedi, if I was especially leader of a council, why wouldn't? And I had a kid like Anakin who I saw where he was going. I knew everybody knew Anakin was banging Padme. Let's be honest. I knew he was into Padme.
I
everything.
don't think everybody
I don't.
knew that.
I don't
Everybody.
know. I don't.
You definitely
I don't-
know
I don't-
Mace Windu and the rest of the
No,
council
think
were
so.
suspecting.
No, I don't think so either.
I think they were. They might have suspected like
Like it wasn't
he
confirmed,
might
but
have
they
a
could
crush
catch
or
him.
something
Like
like that. Like
Well,
because they're
because-
men too. They're not like completely oblivious to the fact of young strapping man and a princess. Come on, they're not idiots. But I don't know if they thought that he would really go that far, knowing
Yeah.
what they expect of him. Like,
But
Right.
if I
don't
knew that,
do that. Like
if I
don't
knew
do
that, one
Well,
day
because
that
they-
I'll do it. You
because
know?
it's like a priest, you know, who takes a vow of
It's not
celibacy.
realistic. It's not
Yeah.
realistic.
For
It's
That's
most,
what
not.
it
and
is.
you know what? There was a few Jedi that it wasn't realistic, and
not.
they even Obi-Wan. I'm sorry.
You mean to tell you mean to tell me Yoda might have not even been in love in his 900 years? He hasn't seen another
I don't-
short green.
Well, there's
Let
only
alone-
thing of
let
his
alone
stature.
down
there's
with
only
it.
3 of
Come on,
them,
man.
so I don't know how much
What?
the and
What's
where
the
and how did
feelings?
he even get made?
I want a Yoda origin story. Not necessarily a Yoda origin story. Like, we don't even have a species name for him. It's called Yoda's
Maybe he was
species.
an egg. He was hatched as an egg.
looked like
I
he
want
could've
a
been
true
hatched.
origin story, though. And I would love to see...
or slid out somewhere. I don't
in
know.
the old canon, the expanded
You know,
universe,
in
we
the
had a lot
Lord,
of
in the
Yoda
Lord of the
species
Rings,
around.
they make the people out of the mud. You know, you see them
Yeah,
coming
you
out of
just
the
see them
mud.
coming out of the
so-
mud. Who knows
yeah,
how Yoda was
the
conceived or born.
Uruk-hai were made out of the mud.
The
Yeah,
possibilities are endless.
The
like,
Uruk-hai,
with
they
Yoda.
were half orc and half...
Half man.
Half man? Yeah.
But it-
Because
but
I was
the
going to
orc
say
would
half
have to
elf.
be
That's
a
not right, because
lady.
orcs are elves.
Yeah.
But some elves they did mate some evil elves with the.
He's like a ghoulish goblin kind of.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Oh, I
the
love Lord of the Rings.
The Uruk-hai are bad. Man. Those, I
Leprechaunish.
love those guys.
Oh, they're like vicious too, and they were all like messed up looking because they were not made right. They were just made to like quickly be fierce and go kill. Oops.
Yeah.
Like I just love the Uruk-hai. Like but I will say, I totally because you know that scene like after he's torn down Isengard and like the holes are on the ground, they're mining for resources, tearing down trees and stuff. I love that scene because J.R.R. Tolkien was huge into nature. Like he felt all these machines and the wars we were creating and everything were atrocious, and that's why
course, he
that
was
scene is
in
in the
World
book and the
War II.
movies. Well, he's in World War One.
World War One. I'm sorry.
But that's why that scene's in the book and the movies is to show that the tearing down of nature to become industrial by evilness. And I just love that scene so much.
And you know, we will throw that in there that Count Dooku was in there.
Yes. Count Christopher Lee is the ultimate. Count Dooku. Saruman? Yeah, Saruman.
Saruman,
Francisco Scaramanga, the man with the golden gun. Dracula like 8 times. You name it. He is, and not
He
only
definitely
that,
knows how to pick his role.
He was
Yes.
he was SAS in World War II and killed people.
He knows who he is.
And
as an actor.
all the stuff he did during World War II is still classified. Most, like 99% of World War II is declassified.
So he was the
but
hitman.
He was. You remember at in the beginning of
He
Return
was.
of the King when, fun fact, when he gets stabbed by a worm tongue
Yes.
and he throws off. Originally, the script Peter Jackson had written where he gets stabbed and screams and yells, and Christopher looked at him and says, "I've been in this situation before. That doesn't happen. You don't have any air in your lungs. You gasp." And that's why he gasps in that scene and falls, because Christopher Lee killed people in his life.
Right.
So, I mean, that is hardcore. Christopher
Well,
Lee's
he
ultimate.
killed people with man with the golden gun. That's why he was
Yeah.
man with the golden gun.
That's
He's
my
a
favorite James Bond movie,
stoic
too.
Guy. Like,
Yes, he was very stoic.
Yeah.
No, and I even have him on my phone right now. He's a heavy metal artist. He
Yes.
He released like 2 concept albums about Charlemagne.
Charlemagne,
Yeah,
yeah.
he really
I mean-
the second one, Omens, is freaking amazing.
Kid
and he
Cudi didn't
released
be an
a-
R&B
He
singer.
played the guitar in his 90s. I mean, the guy was awesome.
and he also has 2 Christmas LPs with one of them has 2 Christmas songs on it. One
Please
of them has
tell me it's not part of the Star Wars Christmas.
no,
There's no way.
This is heavy metal Christmas by Christopher Lee. He has like 2 singles on one, like Silent Night and Drummer Boy. Then the other one has Jingle Hell, which is like a remake of
Jingle
Jingle
Hell.
Bells.
Oh my God.
And then it has a cover of Frank Sinatra's My Way,
Oh
which
my
is
God.
great.
Oh my goodness. How do we even get on this?
Because see, it all ties together. Christopher Lee is Lord of the Rings and Star Wars.
That's right. Okay, so that's going to do it for us this week. Next week, we're going to be going over top 5 or 10 favorite Star Wars animals.
Animals?
Yeah, we're going to do the animals.
Ooh.
Yeah, we chose this over animals last week.
Yeah, we were going to do animals, so we're going to do our top.
10?
You know
10,
what?
but if we do-
Whatever tickles your fancy. If it's 5, do it 5.
Okay, yeah, let's do let's do as many as we
Aaron?
want.
Yeah.
But if you do
Are
like
you still with us?
Yeah, I am. I'm thinking about my 5 right now.
Are
Yeah.
you really?
Do
He's
5.
already
We'll do it like this
He's
week.
already scribbling animals.
Yeah.
5 to 10, but if you go past 5, not a lot of detail on each animal. Just be like, this is the one I
Okay,
like.
he's
This is
pointing
where
that
he's
out
from.
to me.
No, I'm pointing it out to everybody.
No, it wasn't for me for sure.
No, it
Because I'm
wasn't for
too
him. It was for
detailing.
us because I will bring. I could talk about the
He's
Rancor for
gonna-
like hours.
He's going to bring shock and awe in the
it
animal
was
world.
that for me.
I could no. I have to restrain myself because I love all the Star Wars animals, but you get me talking about the Sarlacc or the Rancor, and I talked about the Sarlacc before. You saw me go on about that.
Right. But you
I have
can't
to be
talk
careful.
about that one now. It's out.
Nuh-uh.
Because we talked about it last time, so that one's out. Off the list. Sorry.
But we didn't do the animals last time. That was just wait. What was that episode that I did the Sarlacc and stuff in?
It was fun facts.
Fun fact.
Oh yeah, fun facts.
Fun facts. See, I'm glad I'm here to tell you these things.
All
And
right.
that is a Star Wars quote.
Yes, and before you guys leave this video or audio version that you are listening, be sure
Yes.
to go check us out on Facebook, www.facebook.com/Radio Geonosis. We're also on Twitter at rgeonosis. We're on Instagram at Radio Geonosis, and we're on Castbox and iTunes if you search for Radio Geonosis for audio formats. And please be sure to like and subscribe on Facebook, on YouTube, everywhere you can. It'll be great. I want those 100 subscribers so I can have a custom URL, because then I can say, come to Radio Geonosis at www.youtube.com/Radio Geonosis and not
Instead of
insert
numbers.
letters and numbers right here.
13 hashtag burners.
Yeah. That sounds all ghibli. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.